So the first thing that we need to talk about, of course, are mindset shifts, the way we need to be thinking. And again, I just want to emphasize that later when we get into more tactical or principle-based stuff, remember, if a tactic isn't working for you, it's always incredibly important and super helpful for me, at least, to check in with the mindsets, right? Am I thinking about this the right way? Am I in the right mindset? Have I sufficiently shifted my thinking about this? So the first mindset we want to cover is the shift from sales to systems. Now, there's nothing wrong with sales, right? In fact, I'm a huge fan of sales. But as we're shifting clients from, the sort of marketing component, and we're always marketing, by the way, as we're shifting clients from the sort of heavy marketing component, going from prospect to client, now we're trying to shift them from client for life and happy for life. We want to think in terms of systems. I had a good friend of mine. He was a mentor as well, and his name was Kevin. And Kevin was a CPA, and we were at a big brokerage firm at the time, and he had the corner office, and he was a CPA, and he had like 7 ties, and they were all the same color burgundy, and he drove a Toyota Corolla, and he was making ridiculous money. So there's nothing wrong with any of those things, but I'm trying to paint a picture. Kevin was very, can I use the word, is it okay? He was boring, very consistent. And he had a great business, and his clients loved him, and he kept it, it was a great business, built the right way, for the benefit of the client. And and Kevin was doing really well. So I remember asking him once, I'm like, you don't seem to do all these other things. Like, I was being taught, like, we should send out birthday cards. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. Anniversaries, have client appreciation events, do all this extra stuff. And again, I'm not saying those are a bad idea, but Kevin said to me, I don't do any of that. All I care about, we have completely outside of the quality of the advice we're giving, the comprehensiveness of the plan, the portfolio design, all of that. Other than that, in terms of a service model, all I care about is rapid response to problems and consistent service. Showing up consistently in a way that the client knew that it was happening. Right? So consistent service and rapid response to problems. If we can build systems, and those are things that we can build systems around. And especially if we let go, Kevin's suggesting, and again, I want to be careful here. I don't think you should be worried about birthdays and anniversaries if you haven't nailed consistent service and rapid response to problems. But if you have nailed those and you want to layer stuff on top, that's fine. But I would first take all of that energy, time, effort, and allocate it to building systems around consistent service and rapid response to problems. I'm going to be careful here just because there's a well-known bank, big national bank that has sort of a reputation for not being so great over the last couple of years. I'm just being careful because there's no reason to mention the name. I was a customer of that bank, and we moved all of our accounts somewhere else for other reasons. Other reasons. Again, I'm trying to be careful here because I don't want to mention the name, and I'm sorry to belabor it. But we moved our accounts for service reasons, but other reasons as well, just to make our CFO's life a little easier. And I had to get a statement after I'd closed my accounts for tax purposes. I had to get a statement, so I called, and the customer service was terrible. Right? It took me 45 minutes to get in touch with somebody. The statement had to be mailed. It was going to take 3.5 weeks. They couldn't email it to me. They asked for a fax. It was crazy. And I remember just thinking, well, I'm glad I've moved. And I just need a statement, and we get through all this. And then after that, I honestly got, it's at least 8, but I'm wanting to say more like 10 requests for how was your experience, emails, people trying to call me and ask me if I'd take a survey. And I was just thinking through, why not take all of that energy and focus it on just basic customer service? And that was my feedback. I was like, if you guys would take half the energy you're spending on trying to get me to take a survey and just have dealt with my question in the first place, that would have been amazing. So consistent service and rapid response to problems. They're so basic and so unexciting, which is actually quite exciting because you can build systems around them. And often they're systems that may not involve more of your time and effort. So that's mindset number one, is we just want to be thinking, how can we systemize consistent service and rapid response to problems so we can move from sales to systems? That's mindset number one, sales to systems. Carl here. So for years, I've been traveling all over the world, meeting with financial advisors just like you, and teaching workshops at FPA events and big conferences and small conferences all over the world about things like marketing, business development, doing work in public, having a great first meeting, helping clients behave for life, all the things I did while I was a financial advisor. People are like, yeah, love it, shaking their heads, yes, great. And then there's this moment, it's almost like deer in the headlights moment, where we're like, but wait, we don't know what to say. So after thousands of requests, we finally put together this thing called the School of Advice. I think of it as an encyclopedia set, all the way from stranger to prospect, prospect to client, keeping clients happy for life. The whole client life cycle is wrapped up in the School of Advice with a thread running through the whole thing around client communication. I think you would love it, right? It's there for you to access anytime. You get immediate access to the entire thing and you have access for life. It's yours. Use it, right? I think you'd love it. In fact, I'm so sure that we've put together a free trial so that you can see for yourself. So come on, take the free trial of the School of Advice and let me know what you think. Cheers, my friend.